Nubian Money, where we help you master your mindset and maximize your money. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Fly Nubian Money, where we help you to master your mindset and maximize your what? Your what?
Money.
Hey, yes, money. Now, listen. Today we're going to have a conversation, y'all. It's all about career opportunities that are flying under the radar. While college degrees have long been the gold standard, Gen Z is shifting the narrative and opting for trade schools, you guys. So from HVAC to welding to electrical work, these hands-on careers are offering young people a solid financial foundation without the burden of student debt. Starting at salaries of $70,000, what you gonna make when you get out of college, right out of high school. This is a game changer for a lot of people, for those who are seeking stability and fulfillment. So let's talk about why more and more high school graduates are choosing trade school and how the Black community can tap into this opportunity to create sustainable wealth and economic security for future generations. So listen, we got the most amazing panel on the planet. We got Miss Black Hollywood, who knows all things. She is the producer of this brilliant show. And she's a great conversationalist, my homie, my friend. She ain't my lover, but we're going to keep it there. Miss Black Hollywood, tell the people, hey.
Hey y'all, hey.
Hey. And then we got the B.Big. Coach. What? The B.Big. A.B. What's happening, Miss Dr. Felice? She is a therapist. She is a coach. She is the Big coach, and she is going to therapize us today because we need it. Now, y'all out there, let me ask you guys a question in the comments. I'll chat. Listen, what were you taught growing up? And what generation are you? Are you a baby boomer? Because we want to know. We want to know who we talking to. Are you a Gen Zer? Are you a Gen Xer? Are you a millennial? What are you? And what were you taught about your post-secondary education? Go to school, go to college, go to trade school. What were you taught? And so I'm going to ask the ladies on the panel today, Dr. Felice, what were you taught by your mother? What were the values that they instilled in you about what you need to do when you grow up? You're muted, baby.
I'm
What's up, Double A?
So education. Like I was always taught education, and it was instilled in me to get good grades. Like I don't know how many talks I got to and spankings I got if I didn't get good grades. And so I always knew that I was going to go to school, and I watched my mom go back to school and get her degree. So I always knew that. And I also grew up where in school we had what we called home economics.
Yeah.
So mine was cooking. Like I learned how to make pretzels. I learned how to make scrambled eggs. Like they literally taught us. We had woodworking. And so I grew up in a day where it was an option for us. Like you could either go the academic route or you could go the trade route. And they started you off kind of hands-on with the trade route too, to see if that was something that you would like or catch on to. And so I was just taught that my mom, and I think a lot of Black women, it was education was my key.
Yeah. I think that is definitely true. Yeah, and your mom was educated. Your mom went to college as well.
My
She
mom
went.
went to college, like, so she started out going to college, but then she got pregnant with me and stopped. And so years later, we went to school with her. She went back to get a degree in nursing. And so me and my brother both thought that we would hate school. Like, I really did. We thought that we would hate school because she didn't have anyone to watch us.
Mm.
And so we would have to go to school with her, and we'd be up all times of night, on the train coming back home. And both of us went on to get our master's degrees because we saw that model.
Yeah.
We saw our mother make the sacrifice to get a degree, and her life did change.
Yeah.
When she got her degree in nursing.
Yeah, that's good. Beverly says she's 63. She's born 1961, and she was taught to try and get an office job or nursing. That's interesting. So for you guys in the chat, what were you taught? How old are you? What generation are you? Are you a baby boomer, Gen Xer, a millennial, or Gen Z? And what were you taught about education or post-secondary education? Were you taught to go to work? Were you taught to get a good job, a good government job, or were you taught to go to school? Miss Black Hollywood, what were you taught?
Yeah, so I'm a millennial, and I really just based
That's
on the way
crazy. I'm friends with millennials. I'm a grown ass woman. I'm Gen Xer. Like, how are you a millennial? That's crazy. we Gen Xers, right? Dr. Felice, you a Gen Xer too, right?
That's right.
So I'm a millennial. I'm on here with these old ladies, y'all. No, I'm just I'm a millennial represent. No, but I am, and I was taught just based on the way I grew up. As everybody knows, I didn't really grow up the traditional way. I grew up with a community of family members, so nobody was really urging me to do one thing or another. It kind of was like everybody was just leading by example. I was watching people's lives play out and just saying, right? I think everybody understood that I was creative and that I could do certain things that were creative, but I don't know if anybody saw that as a career path for me.
Yeah.
But when it came for me to go to college, I was like, I'm gonna just go to college, right? Like, I had a sister cousin that was right before me that went to college. I was like, I'll just do what Adrian did. And so that's kind of what set me up. But looking at it, I mean, but like Dr. Felice, I had wood shop, I had home ec, I had all of those things as well, but I didn't even connect that was a trade, right? I didn't connect. I was like, oh, we about to be cooking today, or we got to go to, I just thought it was something fun to do or different to do that was using our hands, but I didn't connect the two.
Yeah. Double A says she's a millennial. And she never was really forced to get an education, but it always was in me to go for myself. It's the one thing no one can take away from you once you earn. And I think that's great. As for me, I thought that was next. Like, I was an honor student in school. I got some of the highest test scores. I did all the things, but my parents weren't together. It was just, nobody was really paying attention to me, and I didn't go. And I ended up, my dad got married to this crazy lady. They kicked me out the house. I was kind of homeless, kind of living from pillar to post, got a job, and, got into a place. I lived with my ex, and we lived together for a couple of years. And then we broke up, we got back together. Then we got married, and then we had a baby. Married first, by the way. But so I didn't get the chance to go. I always say I have a PhD, but I wanted to go. I thought that was like for me, I just knew that was next. And it wasn't. And again, that's the biggest mistake I feel like I've ever made. That's my only regret in life. But I did have the wherewithal to make sure that I got the skills that I needed. So I would take trainings during the weekend, like Manpower, the little temp agencies, they would have little classes you could take. I did everything. I learned everything. And when I worked at places like HP, at 18, 19 years old, they were like, oh, she's a whiz kid. She knows this, she knows that, because I made sure that my skill sets were up to par. Like, I was taking HTML. I was trying to learn everything that I could because I had to make up for that deficit. So, but when my friends were coming out of college, I was making more money than they were.
And you knew way more than they did, because let me tell you about those HBCUs. I mean, we were working, right? We was on it, definitely studying and all of that, but we had fun too.
Y'all had that's what I missed. Like,
I don't even know if we also wasn't thinking like, yes, we were taking our coursework, but we weren't thinking, I got to learn this weekend. I got to learn HTML. I got to do this. I got to do that. We were learning it, but not like how intentional you were about like staying ahead of the curve, or maybe that insecurity that you had, like, oh, well, I have to learn this stuff because I need to stay ahead of the curve. Like that, like really was your superpower, right? Meanwhile, we were chilling.
I kind of would have traded that though, to have that experience.
I mean, it
like,
was a good experience.
You see, you can't even front. Like, ain't that?
Felice, did you go to a HBCU?
Yep, I'm a Golden Bowl, Johnson C. Smith University, and it was the best thing. And you know, it was the. We're going to get into it, but it was like it was the best thing that could happen to me in my life. And if there was any part in my life that if someone said I could go back, that would be it. It would be those 4 years that I would go back to.
See? That's the thing. I've always said this. I've had a great life. I made some great money, done some great things. But I always said, even when my kids were little, mommy's only regret in life, not your raggedy daddy. I'm just kidding. But it's not going to an HBCU. I wish I would have done that. And, so now I've forced them to go, and I live vicariously through all of them. And now I live my HBCU life in DC, Maryland, and Virginia. It's a beautiful thing with money.
Right.
It's a great thing.
Well, while Constance lives in her sorrows, we're gonna take a break. We'll be right back.
I was going there, sis. I was going.
It's a good show right here. But I'm biased. If you are just tuning in, you are watching Fly Nubian Money, where we help you master your mindset and maximize your money. My name is Tiara Williams. I'm also known as Miss Black Hollywood, and I'm the proud producer of this show because it is lit. If you want to receive notifications for when we go live Monday through Friday, 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All you have to do is text the word Queens to 87948. That's Queens to 87948. That's QUEENS to 87948. Also, if you want to grow your money and not blow your money, all you have to do is go to flynubianmoney.com. There's all kinds of resources, there's courses, there's free giveaways. There's just no reason to be broke in 2025. All you have to do is go to flynubianmoney.com. Obviously, you don't want to be entertained here. You want to know enough to grow. Wait, I need to put that on a shirt. You got to know to grow. Got to know to grow. So know and grow with flynubianmoney.com.
So,
better, sis? Feeling better?
Yes. I had to woo-saw because I don't want to hear none of you guys' little HBCU experiences. Talk about
we giving it to you all hour too.
I don't want to hear none of that. So if you just tuned in, we are talking about how Black youth are landing $70,000 jobs without a degree. That was me. I mean, I was making like $30 an hour, in my 20s and without a degree and all that stuff. But, I worked in the Silicon Valley and, so it was that. It was like that back then. And that was 30 years ago, I guess. And some people ain't even making that now. So for the people that are watching, I just wanted to know, like, what were you guys taught? Go to school, get a good government job. Like, what was the thing that was instilled in you? Was it to go to, was it to get that money or was it to get the education? Let's take a look at this first video and let's talk about it.
School juniors are getting $70,000 a year job offers because they know a trade from shop class, meaning they don't have to go to college or get any debt. Employers are recruiting high school juniors and seniors with skilled trades more and more as boomers start to retire. And many of these seniors are on track to make 6 figures in just 5 years. No college degree required. Some high schools are leaning into this by offering shop courses and other programs. In one school in Philadelphia, every single senior that was part of the welding program graduated with a job offer. That was 24 students in total in just one school. One of those students got a job offer for $75,000 a year as a nuclear submarine welder at a defense contractor. And now, more and more high schools are allowing these types of employers to come and participate in career fairs at their school. This is something that used to be somewhat of a taboo back when they were only pushing college for high school students. Of course, now not offering these things only sets students up for failure. To high schools that have gotten rid of shop class and who aren't offering programs or job fairs for students interested in trade, you just made the D3 List, a podcast about dumb, desperate, and diabolical business decisions.
So first, before we even get into it, I just want to know what the hell is going on with this dude's mustache, his hamburger, his taco meat on his chest, and the nap sticking out the hat. I don't even know what's going on here. So it was a little hard for me to concentrate because there was a lot going on in that video. But he did say some things that I thought that stuck out. Is he just gave me a headache, homeboy? Like, what are you doing with your Hitler mustache? What's going on, sir? What the hell? I know he don't got a black woman. I'm pretty sure of it. So. One thing that I don't think a lot of people really understand when he talked about the boomers, there's a great wealth transfer. I don't know if you guys know about the big great wealth transfer because a lot of boomers are dying off and a lot of this is the biggest wealth transfer in the history of this country that is happening right now, that's set to happen up into the year 2040. There's trillions of dollars that are being transferred from baby boomers to Gen Xers, millennials, Gen Zs. And so also with that, sounds like a lot of these trades that a lot of these older people were doing that younger people like the Gen Xers and even the millennials weren't doing. But now the Gen Zers are starting to look and see, look, my mama got $200,000 in student loan debt. We can't eat. All we got to eat is bread. And she got all these degrees decorated. And we, so I may as well just go ahead and get a trade. Does that make sense? I mean, would you guys encourage your children to do that in lieu of Ms. Black Hollywood? Would you encourage your children?
Yeah, I mean, for financial reasons, it's a good look, but no, I wouldn't. Just because I know who my daughter is. I know she's an artist. She is an apple that doesn't fall far from a tree, right? She is an actress. She is a dancer. She is a little singer. She has all the things, right? So I wouldn't encourage that. I mean, she wants to go to Howard. She's graduating from middle school next week, and she has her eye on Howard. Her dad went to Howard and took her to homecoming, and she was on campus like, oh.
Yeah.
This is fly. Like this is where I'm going. So I encourage that because I do think that HBCUs just offer this well-rounded experience, especially coming from California and her being a little chocolate cute girl, just going and being like looking at people that look like her that are excellent. I mean, you just can't get that at a trade. You can get money, but I think the regret of not the experience.
Take it from me. Like I used to tell my daughter's beautiful, and
she is.
Never could get a little boy. No boys liked her. She was bullied. She wasn't paid attention to. They talked about her big eyes, all that stuff. I said, just wait. Just wait till you go to your HBCU, girl. Because black boys in California don't like black girls. It's a weird thing, Felice. I know you don't understand it, but black men and black boys, they like these exotic looking women. So we are low. And that experience, just getting them out of California. I would recommend everybody get the hell out of California because
I'm leaving soon.
That's what. Sorry, Californians, but that and I love my hometown, but for a black person to really thrive, and I did well. So I'm not even mad at it, but I just think it's better if black people were around more black people. But for you, Felice, I know your daughter's already grown, but looking back, would you encourage college education or a trade?
Definitely a college education. Now, bear with me. I don't think everybody needs a college education, right? I don't, because you have to know your child. And so you have to know what their gifts are. And sometimes making your child go to a 4-year program is going to waste your money. And a lot of times it winds up wasting their money. I know with my brother, he went to a 4-year college. He went to Norfolk, messed up, dropped out, went into the Air Force, and it totally changed his trajectory. That routine, that structure really helped him. And he wound up going back to school on their dime, right? And all the way, the master's program, they paid for it. So everybody's not meant for that. But I think, and I knew my daughter too, first thing I told her, I was like, you're going to college and you're going to an HBCU. So she went to Virginia State. She's a Trojan. And so, and I knew what it would do. And only reason why I say that and why I say HBCUs is because I don't necessarily think that college is the end of be all for people either, but it does give your children 4 extra years to kind of figure life out and who they are to become before they get thrust into adulthood. Just because you're 18 doesn't necessarily mean that you're ready to be an adult. And even if you are learning those life skills, why not give them a little bit of cushion to do it in a safe, welcoming environment that's going to help foster, right, identity? Because I went to white schools all my life till I went to an HBCU, and it literally changed my life. I have professors who finally saw me, and they'd be like, Felice, you've been out 5 times. Oh, one more time not to show up to this class. You understand me? Like, that meant something to me. It meant something that my professors who I admired saw me, and they saw something in me, and they would actually, encourage me. Hey, Felice, I'm putting you in this program. I'm putting you over here because I think it would be a good fit. All of that fostered my self-confidence, my self-esteem. And I no longer had to compete to prove that I was better, because everybody in the HBCU was good. Everybody in, he had the range. But for the most part, when I was going to white schools, I always had to do 100 times better than my counterparts. But here it was like, look, it's just expected you show up, period. That's what we expect. And so it was a totally different thing. And it literally, I'm telling you, it changed my life, and it gave me 4 extra years. And I also developed family when I went to my HBCU. Because, like, I've been friends, and my daughter, like, those are her aunties and uncles and cousins. Like, we just kept growing together. And once you go to a HBCU, and we find out you go there, like, you fam, like, automatically off the top, automatic networking. We could just stuck in the family, be like, hey, yo, you here? Have you heard of anything? I'm out here, I'm looking. So it's like this family of network that keeps giving. Yeah. And so I just would promote it to give your children that extra 4 years to figure out who they are and who they want to become.
Yeah.
I love, if I could just say, I just love, it's so interesting that we want to thrust our kids. This is a high school junior. We're talking about getting a job offer. It's like, you're going to have the rest of your life to work. You're going to have the rest of your life. I want Lauren actually to take a gap year, but she just said what she would do was she wants to travel. She wants to study abroad her sophomore year and go to Japan, right? This little girl got plans, right? So instead of that, that's the plan. Yeah. That's her plan. And so I would rather that, but you have all your life to work. I'm telling you, it's overrated.
You ain't lying. I tell you what, we're going to go to a break, and then I'll tell you my story in a minute.
You're busy, you got things to do, and you can't take us on the go with you every single day. Good news for you. We are now on Spotify. So if you can't watch us, now you can listen to us on Spotify. Search Fly Nubian Money, and all the episodes shall appear. All you have to do is like, subscribe, leave a 5-star rating, leave some comments, tell people how you love us, so that when other people come along and are looking for a great show to watch, they can find Fly Nubian Money too. One last thing, and just in case you've been sitting under a rock, Fly Nubian Money now has an investment club. We are the Fly Nubian Money Club. It's easy. All you have to do is go to flynubianmoneyclub.com, and I am committed to bringing in top experts from all industries to help you level up. They're teaching us the skills that we need to compete in this market. We often say that nobody is coming to save us, not the government, but guess what? We're coming to save us. I'm coming to save you with the Fly Nubian Money Club. So listen, all you have to do again is go to flynubianmoneyclub.com. We have a 30-day free trial set up just for you, just for those people that are struggling. Even if you ain't struggling, you ain't got to struggle. I'm coming. Okay, let me stop playing. I'll see you soon.
So listen, y'all, I have 4 kids, and their whole life, that's all they heard about is going to an HBCU. Now, my oldest son, he told me, he said, Mom, I didn't even like you for a period of time because I felt like you were controlling me. I felt like you were making me do it. But I'm like, but now how do you feel? He was like, I'm glad I went, because you don't know what you want. He wanted to go to the little junior college in Stockton. There is no goddamn way in God's green earth that I was going to let him go there. But what I did know, and this is what I knew when I sent my daughter, I knew that they weren't going to learn anything like significant unless you're going to school to be a doctor or a lawyer or anything like that. There's no need really for college because I was able to make a significant amount of money. I paid 44 times for $160,000 out of pocket for my daughter to go get an experience. And I was okay with that. And she did well, and she did all the things, but she learned more working for me for 6 months than she did at her college. But the experience that they had was unmatched. And that's the reason why I sent my kids. Now, just like you said, you just don't know. Everybody's not meant to go to college. So I know my daughter, that was good for her. She needed that. My oldest son, he's thriving. He knows how to network. You see him at the thing in Miami. He's out there networking and telling people what stock to get and all that. He having meetings over there in the other car. Did you know he was having meetings in the breakout room? I was like, what are you doing, son?
Listen, these little baby Constances running around, y'all. It's crazy. There's other little, yes. Go ahead. There's little baby Constances running around in the world, y'all. Killing it. Go ahead.
But that's what they learned at their HBCU. They tell them to take initiative. So it's more of that social aspect, and they tell them what to do and how they should move out in the world, more than the things that the academic things. My middle son, this is his first year, still trying, they're all, all Deansless, but I'm still trying to figure out if he a trade school guy or I don't know. But at least he's getting that experience because I want to see if he's really able to really kind of indulge in that experience. So I said, I don't know if Jackson State's really for you, because it was for him. It was like a last chance school. I mean, he didn't do well, but that was because of what was going on at home. Freshman year was COVID. Sophomore year was divorce. Junior year, we moved across country. Senior year, he fucked off his whole 4 years, honestly. And so Jackson State was one of the few that was like, come on. And so, so I was like, is this where you really, because if, they letting anybody in here, it's not as elite as a Hampton as my other kids went to, maybe next year because he's doing well. So I don't know. We'll see what he said, Mom, we'll see. I'll go one semester and we'll see what happens. And if I don't do anything, if nothing happens, then I'll change. But he said, I need to take more initiative and getting out there because my other son is telling him, get in the clubs and, you got to, the networking, that's the biggest thing that I'm teaching them. Go out there and meet as many people as you can, get involved. That is going to be your currency. Is you getting involved on campus, all that stuff, all the other stuff, the stuff you do in the classroom, that's cool. The currency is in the network. That's why we sending our kids to school. If you think you're sending your kids to school for anything else, if they ain't no doctor or lawyer, you're sadly mistaken. You're sending your kids to school for the currency, which is the network. So got that off my chest. Let's go ahead and take a look at this other video, the next video.
Not all students thrive in a college setting. However, there's still an alternative. Vocational education and training, commonly known as trade schools. Trade schools can provide several benefits. Trade schools take less time to complete. Trade schools can provide a foundation for several career paths. Trade schools cost less than college. When you graduate, you not only have the certification, but you have the hands-on experience and the work experience to immediately compete in the job market. And trade school graduates are offered competitive salaries because of this. According to the Bureau of Labor and Statistics, here are the 20 highest paid trade school jobs. This is part one. The first one is air traffic controller, and the median salary is $95,000. Number two is a computer programmer, and the median salary is $68,000. Number three is an elevator and escalator installer, and the median salary is $82,000. Number four is a radiation therapist, and the median salary is $77,000. Number five is a nuclear medicine technologist, and the median salary is $74,000.
They all sound like they're putting me to sleep, but somebody want them jobs.
It's that part.
Somebody need those jobs, and everybody is not for college. So do you guys think, I know that, so everybody said, I think the general consensus is that everybody, still, even though you have that, everybody still thinks that sending their kids to an HBCU specifically is probably the best thing for them in their growth and development. But do you think that there's a pressure for Black students or young Black people to go to college over trade schools? Like, what's the thought process that you're seeing out there, Felice? What's the consent? What are they thinking? What's going on?
Well, I love this new generation. Like, they don't think traditionally at all. And they're always thinking outside of the box, which encourages me. And I'm like, dang, they off the chain. Like, they're changing the trajectory. They're changing the way that we look at and approach opportunity. And they see opportunity everywhere, especially in this digital age. And they are using it to their advantage. And they're making and keeping a bag for themselves. They're making way more money than we did. I did when I came out the gate. And I'm like, wow. And so you can't disregard the way that they see things. And I love it. And they don't have the pressures that we do. Like, I think they come out the womb ready to rebel. Anything.
Seriously,
like, they're like, look, I don't have to do it that way. And I'm not. And they're so brilliant. Let me tell you how brilliant these things are. That they done figured out how to go against the grain on my dime. You see what I'm saying? It's like they're not going the traditional route. They're doing their own thing. They living at home with their parents, having beautiful lifestyles on someone else's dime. Now, I know it don't look right, but I don't hate on anybody's money game.
Yeah.
Like, if you done figured it out and they haven't kicked you out, I'm not going to say anything. So I think they're brilliant. And I don't think they have the pressure that we do. And in fact, I think we're starting to come around and see, there might be something to this. And you have people my age who are actually participating and going back. You've got people who are like, well, shoot, I really do like makeup. I really do like doing hair.
I can make money.
Right. They're changing their trajectory. I'm like, well, let me pick up my passion again and trade and figure out another way to make money. So I'm so, now don't get me wrong, they got their issues too. But when it comes to making money, I'm so impressed by them.
Yeah, they doing different things. My homeboy Jason, he's a multi-millionaire, and his daughters, he went to Hampton. His two daughters went to Hampton. I mean, graduated top of their class, got these great jobs when they got out of school. His son was supposed to go to school. He decided he didn't want to go to school, and Jason, it just lost his mind. But this boy is making $375,000 a year selling shoes. He's like, I don't want to go to school. And Jason's like, but if you go to school, you could be an investment banker, work on Wall Street, and you can make millions. And he's like, that's not what I want to do. And so it's just killing his life, because Jason is an attorney, and he owns businesses. He's a business investor. He's all these things. And for him, his son not to go to school, to choose to sell shoes, oh God, it is driving him bananas. So yeah, these kids are thinking differently. And I mean, if they making money, like if he came out of college, he's not going to make $375,000 just starting off. So he's forging his own path, but he's like, well, he want to make this money. He got to get on his own. He can't live with me. Oh, he's like, oh, let me go live on my own end. So to your point though, you're right. These kids are out here doing things differently. But for you, Tiara, what are you seeing that's going on with the youth around you?
Yeah. It's so funny that when students don't, or our students, and when our children don't do what we want them to do, it's like, well, you're going to get out of my house and figure it out. I just think that we just got to hold off on that type of energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let your kids stay at the house as long as they need to really build it up. Like, I mean, when I think about it, I didn't want to live with anybody, and I chose to like move away and do different things. Nobody lived in California when I got here, so there was no nest to like kind of like be in. I just kind of was outside in my 20s, like trying to figure it out, and God worked and God provided. But I'm always gonna be a safety net for Lauren while she's figuring it out. I don't want to do Broadway no more. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to try this. I'm gonna be like, cool. Well, come in, you got a room here, right? I just feel like it's okay to let them figure it out. And if money, yes, I want her to make money, but is it the end all be all? Like, I know a lot of people that are millennials and what's y'all generation? What? X?
Shut up.
What you had? Who are unhappy. Who got caught in some type of job and was like, I've been here for 30 years, and I mean, this is just what I do. But I really wanted to you know, I have a student that when I talk to her, she's she's 65. She's in our story selling cohort, and she was like, I just feel like I've been living for everybody else. I'm 65 years old. I'm just feeling like I can start living my own life right now. And
Wow.
she was like, I've been taking care of everybody. I've been doing all the things that I was supposed to do. And now at 65, I finally feel like I need to start living for me.
Good for her.
65.
Good for
Good
her.
for her.
Mhm.
We gonna wrap a story around that, baby. Listen,
Mhm.
but you know what I'm saying? Like, I just think I would never want Lauren to be 65 and be like, I live for everybody else.
Yeah, yeah. I'm with you. My daughter, my daughter's had two homes that she's owned. And so she was in this townhome, nice, 2,500 square feet by herself, scared, this big old house. I said, I got a whole basement. Girl, rent that thing out, make you some extra money, come over here and figure it out. So I'm totally with you. But I always tease her. I'd be like, girl, you 38 years old. Girl, you a grandma. You over here living with me. Girl, shut up. You be, so I always got to give her a hard time. She's like, dang, mama, I ain't even had yet. Granny, shut up and get in here kitchen, But as long as they need, long as they need. Now, I've been waiting my whole life for them to get up out this house. So I am patient, right? But when they get out, I'm going to be sitting on the couch butt naked and nobody's going to be able to say anything about it.
And think about it, y'all, though, like most coaches, besides Caucasian, most coaches do that. Like they don't push their kids out. They encourage their kids to stay until they're ready and able to start their own families. Right. And so it's very cultural to keep the family together. And you think about it, it's a way to hold on to the wealth. Mm-hmm. You keep building wealth, putting back into the family, right? And setting a nest egg. So when that child does go out to start a family, she goes out of the house wealthy, not in debt, right? But prepared and positioned for her new life. And so I think that there's something to it. It's not, I think that, pushing our kids out, I think that that's something that we adopted. I don't think that that was originally our thing. And so, and I don't think it's necessary. Like your kids got to learn, like they are learning. And that's one thing. And I'm not trying to go on a tangent, but like that's the thing about homeschoolers and why they're doing so well is because for homeschoolers, they're always learning. It's 24/7. Their parents are modeling budgeting. That's a part of their homeschooling. They're modeling home economics and trade. That's a gardening. All that they're literally modeling and position those kids for success. And so the longer your children stay at home, you're just reiterating how to build upon wealth and position them for success when they finally do go out.
Yeah. I love that. I think Constance is frozen, but I agree with you. I actually, it's so funny. It's so funny because I feel like, you have to tell me, like, is that where did that come from? Like, where did that whole idea, like, you gotta go and I need to be hard on you and you gotta fend for yourself? Like, where did that come from and why?
And so I don't know, like the history, like I'm not a historian.
Right.
About like the American way and capitalism, you got to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. You got to figure it out. And you got to get out there on your own and make your own money. It's all about individual. So I think that it comes from please do not quote me, y'all. I don't know, but this is what I believe. I believe it came from that. And so now you think that you have to do it on your own, make it on your own, pull yourself up out of bootstraps. And that really, if you think about it logically, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So when you said most cultures, with your accent, I thought you said most coaches, and I was like, coaches do that? Okay, there are coaches. And then as you started talking, I was like, oh, she's saying cultures. I just like me.
Most cultures.
Cultures, not coaches. Okay.
Oh, yeah,
cultures.
I heard you, Dr. Felice.
I really did. I was like, okay, coaches. Okay, that's
that accent.
Coaches are making it people's kids and stuff. Like, I didn't know what you meant. Like, okay, I'm trying to follow you. Cultures, most cultures, but you're right, because we've adopted that rugged Eurocentric individualism. I got mine, you got to get yours, put your kids out. Hell no, we are a communal people. So let's get back to the basics. Let's get back to what it is. Now, I ain't finna have no disrespectful ass kids in my house telling me what to do, trying to tell me how to run my house. but I'm grateful that I don't have disrespectful ass kids. So if you raise your kids right, then you'll be able to continue to have that. I didn't, Deborah, did you know what she? So
Yes,
it was
definitely
only
heard her.
it
It's
was
the
only me.
coach, the
It's
coaches,
the coaches,
culture.
the coaches. Let's go. I love you, Dr. Felice. Let's go to the next video.
What is going on, young men of TikTok? Listen, 2 words for you tonight. Trade school, right? Trade school. Listen, if you're between the ages of 18 and 29 and you're struggling and you're lost, as a lot of you say in your comment or in the comments that you leave, trade school, man. Buddy and I was talking about that at work today, how the ideal of going to college, although it sounds good, if you're not going to be a doctor, lawyer, dentist, and, you go and you get a criminal science degree, or you go and get a humanities degree, or some general degree like that, it has been my experience that a lot of those people that earn those degrees, end up with a lot of student loan debt. They end up pretty much working jobs that are not even in their field, right, of study, for considerably less money. So if you're between 18 and 29, guys, plumbing, electrician, carpentry, trades like this, iron work, the national average for that type of salary or for that type of job, the salary is like $67,000. Takes you a few years to complete the training in it, and without spending a ton of money that you would at a university, you can get out and you're working after your training or during your training. Listen, guys, there is not a better way out there for you to start making real money without investing a ton of money that you end up having to pay back with student loans. Listen, I'm still paying back student loans today.
I think it's true for some and not true for others. I mean, so we can't paint everybody with a broad brush, and we can't say that HBCUs or anything else is for everybody. But I just think, it just depends. And as parents, I believe that we really have to kind of look at our children and guide them, because that's our responsibility, and see, how do we set them up to win in life, period. What's the best way? What's the best route that's going to help us to win? But what do you say about that, Miss Black Hollywood?
Yeah, I was about to say, it's so interesting because Black men aren't going to college at the rate that Black women are, right? They're just not. They're not doing that. But I'm not sure exactly what Black men are doing at this point, like just trying to get jobs or whatever. But I think since that is the case and they're not going to college, maybe trade school, the army, like doing something that can give you some discipline and give you some money right after school, right after you graduate from high school, is not a bad thing for Black men. And just to give them some direction, even if you start there and go out and make some money and then kind of figure it out as you're going through life, because everybody, like you said, Constance, doesn't necessarily have it's not for everybody, but everybody doesn't have the means to go around and bumble around and figure it out and be like, oh, well, what do I want to major in? Well, what is my major? What is this? But he was talking specifically to Black men, and I concur. Like, it just feels like it takes Black men a little longer, just based on what I've observed, right? Black women are, I don't know, we're from young, we are taught to be independent, to go after things, to be ambitious. And I think Black boys are taught to play, and they're kind of coddled by their Black moms. And so when it comes time for them to graduate, it's like, I don't know what I want to do. I mean, he just started taking out the trash, right?
Yeah.
But we've been taking out trash since we was 3-4 years old. Take that trash out. Okay. Right. So it's just a different, when it comes to Black women and Black families, I think that just the culture is different, and it takes Black men a little longer. So I think this is a good alternative for them.
The other day when I was with my kids, my daughter was like, Mom, this boy ain't gonna never be able to do nothing because you still cut his toenails. First of all, I don't. It's been a year. It's been a year. But to your point, And he was like, she hasn't done that since I've been in high school. It's been a year. It's been a year.
Were you
However,
that is the question. Were you harder on Shael? Were you harder on the girls than the boys? And not harder, but like
all my kids are spoiled rotten to the core. They are. So I do like I'd make them do more gender specific things. So I make my boys do the things that are like the heavy lifting. They help me, I'm over here Barb the builder, right? So they're helping me put stuff together and they take out the trash and all that stuff. But they all clean up, they all do the thing. My daughter is the one who cooks. So it's more gender specific. But to your point, if they're not gonna go to college, they need to do something. Yeah. And more, I don't know if you heard, even at Howard, which is one of the best HBCUs, more non-Black people are going to Howard than Black men. Mm. So what are Black men doing, Felice? What are they doing?
That's a good question. And, I mean, if you want to look at statistics, you want to look at the news, you want to, put a double standard. I'm saying that, generally. Is that what they're doing? Are they running these streets? Are they trying and pretending and wanting to be thugs? Like, are they going that route? Or are we setting our Black boys up for failure to go into the jail system? And that's their education, you know what I mean? Are the streets their education? And so, we have a huge responsibility to our Black men. Mm-hmm. And so I really do encourage a lot of my single parent clients who have boys. I look for resources with Black men in it. Like in Charlotte, we've got a great, phenomenal group called the Males Group. And this man is taking he's teaching them how to be men, teaching them self-confidence, manners, etiquette. He's taking them to Africa so they can learn their original identity. Yes, it's a male's place. He's teaching them how to garden. He's teaching them how to be self-sufficient. He's teaching them how to take those things and be in service. And so we got 100 Black men. So I encourage them to put them in groups around Black men who have figured it out and who are willing to give back and show them, because I think that's where it comes from. It's training, early childhood training, and exposure to the possibilities.
Yeah.
See that this world is bigger than this corner. This world is bigger than your alleyway, that there's a whole world out there that is available to you. And then to give you routine, structure, and discipline and modeling about how you navigate in that. Now, is it 100? But no, but it's a seed. And so if we start planting these seeds of training in our young men, in our hoods, and all our men, find a way to go back and just start providing, whether even if it's a sport. Like I made my husband go back out there. He finally did it. My husband's great at tennis. He does tennis. So he teaches tennis to one of the Black high schools in Charlotte now for free, right? Mm-hmm. It's those little things that we need to do, because all a child needs to know is that somebody cares. Mm-hmm. And once they know that instills hope and it gives them possibility. So I think that's a great way of, and is it going to be one? No, but we got to start somewhere. And you have to start in your immediate circle of influence.
Yeah. Well, it's trade schools are a telltale sign, because with technology right now, we're going to go to commercial and then we'll talk about it when we come back.
Are you a Black business owner looking to expand your reach? Well, has Fly Nubian Money got good news for you? We are building a Black business directory to connect you with customers who need your services. And here is the best part. It is absolutely free. Email us at info@realvirtual.net. Send us your business name. Tell us a little bit about what you do, what services you offer, your website address, and your contact information. That's it. Together, we are going to build and circulate the Black dollar. Get listed today and start connecting with people who are probably already looking for you.
Yes. So what I was going to say it's a telltale sign with what happened just last month with the jobs report. 106,000 Black women lost their jobs. 40,000 Black men were hired. And the difference is the types of jobs that they're having, right? So we're seeing a lot of Black women losing their jobs because of DEI, office jobs, but there's a lot of automation and AI going on too, that simply AI, trade skills, AI is not going to be able to do. It's not going to be able to drive trucks. It's not going to be able to fix your plumbing. There's certain things that AI is not going to be able to do. It may make it more efficient, your job more efficient, but nothing's going to replace the manpower. And so for those reasons, we definitely need more people in the trades. Again, as he talked about the transfer of the baby boomers getting out of those jobs. And then the Gen Xers were taught to, let's get in the office. Let's get you inside these offices. Let's not work with our hands. And then you have a lot of the manufacturing jobs that have gone overseas. But now you have the Gen Xers or the Gen Zers and the Gen Zers really saying, you know what, I want to do something different. I don't want to be up in nobody's office. They feel like being in the office is like hell. It's like murder. It's like smother. It's like, oh God, I just want to slit my wrist at the end of the day. Why am I here? What am I doing? Like, y'all, you don't know, we suffered through this shit for years. We walked so y'all could run through these offices with these white folks. And now y'all don't want to do it? Like, what is going on? So how do we, and I love what you said, Felice, about, Black folks needing to get in positions where they're teaching, they're volunteering. How do we get more, how do we make it more sexy for these young people to get into these fields, these trades?
I think that's a great question. And money, right? What's more sexier than money? Like having money in your pocket, being able to not feel some kind of way when a girl that you looking at and you checking for is liking you because you can afford to take her out. Like you don't have to make something up. And so the fact that you'll be able to feel like a man, feel like you're able to contribute in ways that you probably wouldn't. And I think that's what a lot of our problems are with our Black boys, is that they don't have the confidence. They are feeling some kind of way because they can't go, and they can't be a part of because they don't have funds. Mm-hmm. And so I think the thing is, like, you can make $70,000 out the gate in 8 weeks if you come to this trade school. It don't get no sexier than that. Like, and seriously, like if you got to do a commercial where the girls are checking for you because you making $70,000 and after 8 weeks of some training, like, yeah, I think that's the sexy way to do it.
That's true. Like that money always talks. And most, whether they say it or not, most men do things to impress women. So somehow, what can we do, Tiara, to make that more sexy for these young men to do?
Yeah, I think that, it makes me think of how many young Black men are in prison or in jail or in juvenile, right? If somebody would have just got to them in a time and said, listen, maybe your options aren't being a thug, but if you go to this trade, you like almost like a mandatory thing where instead of giving them a gun, we gave them a trade school or like a sometime or sent them off to the army. I'm not against that either, but I just wonder how many men would be there if just given that opportunity or just given that exposure. So I would just say, like, I don't know if we need to be out on the street corners like people are with the Bibles going, listen, like, especially in our hood, saying like, listen, this is an option for you. You can make money. You don't have to sell drugs out here or try to sell drugs or try to, do things that are, just that will land you in jail, put you on a pipeline right to prison, right? We can, get out there and just really advocate. I don't know. I'm thinking about this. Like, how do we do that?
We can use some of our men who the boys already admire to use their platforms to expand what the options are for our boys. Like, hey, all of y'all are not going to be the next LeBron James or the Stephen Curry. And so, but these are options. And even be truthful about, like, if I didn't think I was going to go into sports, I was going to pick up a trade. I was going to work on cars because I love cars. I was going to do HVAC because I know that I'm pulling it literally, seriously. Have y'all paid a plumber lately? Like, them jokers are making some good money to come out real quick, zim zam, and your stuff is backed up. Right. And so if we start having men who are already got influence in the platform start sharing what their options would have been had they not been in that scenario, that might even help our young boys to see that trades might be sexy.
So you're saying get So make trades as sexy as we make the NBA and the NFL.
Pulling in that
It,
money, like they
it,
really
it,
are.
it
Because I
has to
think,
be
I mean,
like,
ultimately, it's really sexy because the likelihood of you going to the NBA or the NFL is like slim to none. And you do, but it doesn't stop people from working so hard to get there. The discipline that's required to get to those spaces. It's like you could just do half of that and go to a trade school.
Right. And think about it. Think about it. We will always need a plumber.
always.
Always. We will always need somebody. We will always need a mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I may not necessarily have to go to my esthetician, and I may not have to go to my hairdresser, but I know I will need that mechanic. I know I'm going to need that plumber. So those trades are essential to our very way of living. And so, like, we got to make that sexy because it's necessary, it's accessible, it's quick, and it's pretty much guaranteed that you're going to have a good livelihood.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Yeah, I think it needs to be there needs to be some kind of like movement, some kind of Black-led movement about trades so that it does look sexy, so people can understand that it's an option and an opportunity for a lot of our people. Because I think it's necessary. Like, y'all, if you ain't going to college, college ain't for you. You need to do something. And what does that look like? And here's the way that you could, you could purchase a home in a little bit, and you could do all these things. Because you're right, Felice, that shit is expensive. I saved $8,000 doing my own floor in my house. I did. I mean, I was doing floors in my house a couple weeks ago. And
I saw that.
yeah,
Listen, listen, this is Constance, the contractor. I told her to add it to her resume.
University, but at the same time, I'm teaching these boys too, and I know this one over here the whole time trying to do. I was like, Necro, you're gonna be somebody's daddy and you're gonna be somebody's husband at some time. You're gonna have to pay attention to this shit. Like, it's hard trying to teach a boy how to be a man as a woman. But anyway, but this is stuff that you just need to learn. You just need to know as men these types of things. Like, you're gonna need to have. You don't want to have to pay somebody to come over and do things all the time. It's just, I think it's a masculine thing, a macho thing to do. If I had somebody and he knew how to fix all that stuff, I'd love it. I think it'd be dope. Anyway, this was a great conversation, y'all. We got to end this thing. But let's end this with your final thoughts. What's the next step? What is the next phase for our community and how we can move it forward? Because I think all of these things are really necessary, whether it's college or trades or whatever. We're not monolithic. We're not a monolith. So I think they're all necessary. But what are your final thoughts?
I think I'm really grateful for the pivot. Like, I'm really grateful that we're kind of going back and expanding our options about what is available to us and different ways that our community can start rebuilding wealth in a way that feels good and natural to that individual. If that person in college is not their route, I am so grateful that we now have options for our boys and our girls that you can pick up a trade that might be your passion and be your path to real wealth, legacy wealth. So I am Felice Hightower Britt, your Be Big Coach. I am b.big.coach on Instagram and Facebook. And I'm also the Real Talk with Felice. And I am also on my own website, www.thebebigcoach.com. Please reach out if you know that you want somebody to help you go to that next level and you're feeling stuck, overwhelmed, and just not sure about how you get there. Come reach out to me.
Let's go. Yes, the B.big.coach, baby. All right, Miss TT.
All right.
I
think that our our community has been sold a story, right? We've been told a narrative and we've bought it, that the only thing to do, the only way to succeed is to do like criminal behavior, right? Young boys are saying like the only way out the hood is to sell drugs or go to the NFL or go to, the NBA. That's all I got, right? And that's not true. What we're learning today is that it's not true. I mean, when I think about, I hadn't even thought, or sometimes they say, oh, I can go to the army, but I don't want to do that. But what we're saying today is this is really like a lucrative option for our Black men. And I think that we should look and really just start to mention that as our boys are getting bigger or girls, because our children. and just saying like, listen, if you don't want to take the traditional route, if you don't want to do things, learn this skill. Learn this skill. You ain't got to use it always. If you take 1 or 2 years, it's a small piece of time out of your journey, but you'll always have a way to go make money. And so I would just say that, like, just let's change the narrative around the way we talk to our children and what narratives we have them embrace. My name is Tiara Williams. I'm also known as Miss Black Hollywood. I am a story selling expert. Listen, if you want to get in touch with me, I'm at Miss Black Hollywood across all platforms. And yeah, I mean, there's tons of things going on, but you know, for now, just follow me.
Yeehaw, Miss Black
I'm having
Hollywood has all the things.
all the things.
She has all the things Fly Nubian Money, which is
Oh,
awesome.
MissBlackHollywood.net. If y'all want to reach out, I'm sorry. There you go.
MissBlackHollywood.net. Anything you
Bam.
want to learn about how to be fly with your money, that is the lady. So here's what I want to say. Listen,
Okay.
college is not the only way, and it's not for everybody. It's not the only path to wealth. It's really not. There are trade schools where you can turn real skills into real checks. So if you plumbing, HVAC, electrical, welding, like these are careers that can actually give you some financial freedom. So don't sleep on the trades. Let's start encouraging our kids, your cousins, your auntie, your uncle, everybody, because degrees are good, but guess what pay the bills? Skills.
Skills.
Bars. Boom.
Bars.
But whether you want to put down some floors like me, wire a house, you want to fix a car, I can do that too. My daddy taught me how to do a lot of stuff. Do it smart, do it skill. We need all of those things in our community. Our community is not a monolith. Like I said, we make up all of these different things, but the biggest thing is that we have to work together as a community, come together so that we can build our community. We need everybody in every aspect in this country, in this society, in this economy. So let's not just be chasing success. We are creating it with our hands, with our minds, with our hustle, y'all. So listen, I'm Constance Carter. You can follow me everywhere. I am Constance Carter. If you want to learn how to grow your money and not blow your money, because if you blow your money, it ain't a damn thing funny. Follow me. Oh, y'all, listen, I got this.
I was gonna say, I don't know what you're pushing today. I'm my fingers on the trigger for this for the banner.
Oh yeah,
you know
what? Listen, for those who want to start a business, I have to bring your idea to life. Replay online. It's $197, only $59 for you. You can watch it on demand. So that's to bring your idea to life. But listen, yesterday, you guys, I found that I have a private subscription service on my Facebook page that people have been paying for that I didn't even know existed. And so I didn't discover it because I'm getting these little checks from Facebook. And now what I'm going to start doing is I'm creating some additional content, exclusive content only for this private group, where I'm going to be doing behind the scenes, like get ready with me, different videos. Like I'm going to be doing just content all day. Y'all loving my Black History Month spotlights. I'm going to do some longer form content on that. We're going to do some Q&As. And this is only for the people who are inside this group. It's only $9.99 a month, but you get access to me. So go to I Am Constance Carter on Facebook. Join the little subscription group. I did some behind the scenes while we was on here, so you can see what was going on. You can see what me and Tiara was talking about. You can see Tiara and her do-rag on before the show and everything. You can see all that in the private group. So if you want to see Tiara and her do-rag before we got up
Hold on. How did you not know that you had this? How did you not know you had this group? Who does
I don't know.
I
was looking at my monetization money and I was like, what subscriptions? What is that? And I went in there. Yeah, it was some man up in there. He had all his little content. He was doing videos and stuff. I was like, what's going on in here? People in there just waiting, I guess. They've been in there for months waiting on me to put some stuff in there. So now I'm going to make sure I work overtime to make sure the folks have this private exclusive stuff that you ain't going to see out here. So it's just for y'all. It's behind the scenes. Amazing. It's exclusive. And then Tiara going to come in there with me sometime. We're going to rap too.
Yeah, man. I miss being on Grow Your Money. I know we got to go, but I do definitely miss being on the...
Tuesday, Thursday. Yeah, come on tomorrow. We got Dr. Jones coming on there to talk about some health stuff. So come on in tomorrow with
me. Okay. All right, you gonna wrap this thing up?
Yes. Oh, I forgot. Yeah. Okay. So
are we gonna wrap this thing up? We gonna stay.
Thank you for joining us today. The shift to trade schools is more than just a trend; it's a revolution. And this revolution will not be televised. It's going to be monetized. I just threw that up in there. So how we think about success and our financial stability with hands-on careers, providing a clear path to wealth. We must redefine what we consider a successful career for our community. This is so important to ensure that we are building lasting wealth. It's important that we're exploring new opportunities and that we support our youth, which is the most important thing. So we have to continue to secure wealth building careers for tomorrow. So until next time, keep learning, growing, and watch us on Spotify. Go to Spotify and search for Fly Nubian Money. We're going to be here tomorrow. Same bad time. I won't. Same bad channel. We'll see you soon. Peace.